and welcome to Entrepreneurial Masterclass. I'm your host, Leah Woodford, and have I got a treat for you. With me today is Kimberly Beck, who is not only an ordained ministerial counselor, she's an NLP trainer, certified hypnotherapist, and has a degree in marketing. Oh my goodness, that's a lot to say. Welcome to the show, Kimberly.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm glad to have you. So Kimberly, what put you on this path? I just got to ask.
Wow.
Many paths, I should say.
Kind of a loaded question, right? Wow. Well, at age 27, I became a certified hypnotherapist, and it just led me on this path of self-discovery and personal growth and development. And when I really understood the mind-body connection, boy, I wanted to shout it from the mountaintops because it made such a huge impact on me. And it just led me on this very special journey that took me to many, many different places of study.
But your background, it's so diverse. I mean, from marketing to ordained ministerial counselor to NLP trainer. How do those all work together?
Yeah, well, actually, when we look at the integration of all of that information, it's really a deepening of understanding the realm of emotionality, as well as really understanding the mind-body energy connection and how that really drives everything that we do.
Oh, that's amazing. Now, you have a new book that's out, Feng Shui of the Body. I think we've all heard about Feng Shui for the home, but what is Feng Shui for the body for our viewing audience?
Yeah, so back in the 90s, I had the great distinct pleasure of joining a study group where we actually studied emotionality for almost 10 years. And in this class is where I learned the Feng Shui of the body. So if we're familiar with Feng Shui of the home and how that, it's called the Bagua, which is the power map center of each power center within the home, I actually learned the physical overlay of that energy onto our physical body.
Wow.
So it's a revolutionary new tool of how do we really embody our energy, and when we understand how we embody it, then how do we direct it towards what we want.
So can you give us a couple of examples?
Yeah, so for example, the head and neck is career, and it's so interesting when I work with this particular tool. So I have more credentials than just NLP and certified hypnotherapy. I'm a Reiki master, and I do body work, and I do all of that. And when I would have a client that would come, they would lay on my table, and where they were kind of feeling their pain or their discomfort, I would zero in, and I would just start asking questions. So they would say, oh God, my left knee is just killing me. And I would be like, so how's it going with your husband? How did you know that was what I wanted to talk about? Because we store our emotions in our physical body, and that's where things present. So it's just a really good place to start.
So if I'm angry at my husband, it's going to show up in my knees?
It could, very much so. Or your gut.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a mouthful. Now, we hear mind, body, spirit a lot. Mm-hmm. How does that show up in your practice?
Yeah, so it's a holistic approach, an integrative approach to how do we embody our energy. And again, the core part of our energy, we live in a 5D reality, right? We're physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, and now we have direct access to our higher self. So when we can really integrate that energy, then we move forward from that real place of integration and wholeness. And that really is our birthright, the core of who we are, is in that full integration.
So why isn't this mainstream? Why are not more people talking about this? I have never heard of this till we talked. Why isn't this mainstream, and why are we teaching this in schools? You know, with the world's crashing around us right now, and there's so much divisiveness, this seems like a great tool that can help a lot of people.
Yeah, it really is. Wow, that's like a multiple part question. So let me start with the first part. So it is a revolutionary new tool. There's no information in the market about it, and I've been using it for a very long time. And you talk about my credentials, so there's two parts to my life, and one part of my life I spent in executive leadership in IT, And I used all of these tools. I started out in entry-level sales and climbed my way all the way up to president of an IT company using these tools.
Wow.
So that's the first part. Emotionality is relatively new, right? It's only been really, an emerging conversation that started in the 90s, and it's developing now as we hear mental health and how do we really heal divisiveness, but it all starts within each one of us, and this is a tool to how to really explore who we are and why we think and feel the way that we do. I grew up in a household where we didn't talk about any of this, and it wasn't in school, and I learned it back in my earlier days of just starting out in this exploration. It's been incredibly powerful for me.
Now, in the green room, we were talking about how you use this for manifestation. Can we talk about that a little bit?
Yes. So, in the book, I talk a lot about, what's our family story? What's our money story? How do we clear away some of those blocks that we keep recreating the same pattern with attracting in the wrong lover relationship, or we can't, we're only living paycheck to paycheck. And when we really get clear on, where are our emotional blocks and what's holding us back, then we can get really clear and begin really manifesting with that real potent energy that we are. So in the book, chapter 9 is manifestation techniques. And if you go to my website, kimberly-beck.com, you can download a free Feng Shui the Body vision board. It's an actual body with all of the power centers. And I actually show you how to take your goals and place them directly into your energy field so that we can really create, it's not the world coming at us. We create our life from the inside out. And from that place is really the manifestation part that we're looking for.
Well, this sounds a lot more powerful than affirmations or, a vision board, in your office. I mean, what's the difference between putting it on a mirror in the bathroom or your office versus putting it on yourself directly?
Yeah, we manifest much quicker because it becomes actually a part of us. It's not outside of us. It's not something that we're looking at, and we'll still put a vision board somewhere where we can see it, but with the intention of putting it clearly into our energy field, we actually walk with it in our life versus look at it.
Now, we were talking earlier about one of your case studies. Can we talk about that? Not only did you heal yourself, but you also heal clients. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, of course. So the real reason why this became a passion for me was at 16 years old, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease, and it was pretty debilitating for me. And when I fully understood that we store our emotions in our physiology, and when I understood the body map and zeroed in exactly where my Crohn's disease was presenting in my physical body, it made perfect sense. Unworthiness, shame, guilt, and a real sense of rage. So when I could really work with those pieces within me and completely release it, my Crohn's disease released immediately. And it was debilitating. I was 89 pounds and heavy medication that just was not pretty for a teenager.
Wow, heal thyself. Mm-hmm. So can you tell us?
Can I say one more thing
Sure.
about that? Because the most important part of that is I had a colonoscopy done and there was virtually no trace of ever having the illness. So complete health restoration.
So really, the mind can heal the body.
Yes.
We hear that all the time, but it truly can.
Yes. Well, our unconscious has the blueprint of our perfect health. And when we can clear away the emotional piece, we move back into perfect health. So
how do we clear that emotional stuff? It's so...
Yeah.
It's such a mess sometimes.
It is, and I teach a 5-step tool of how do we really look at, we'll go back to the divisiveness example, right? So where am I feeling righteousness, for example, that finger pointing, I have to be right, because that was a big one for me. And, growing up in my household, there were a lot of righteous conversations. So looking at, well, why do I always have to feel like I'm right? Because it doesn't bring people towards me, it actually pushes them away. And when I realized that I had the unworthiness piece of feeling like I couldn't bring people towards me because I wasn't likable, I pushed them away. So when I healed all of that, I have a tool that I teach you bring all of these emotions to the surface, and it's a very methodical process, but it's proven and it works. And once I released all of that, it's released for good.
Wow, that's amazing. So what are the 5 steps that people can incorporate into their daily life right now? Because let's face it, a lot of people are hurting right now.
Yeah. Gosh, if I had to think about what would be the 5 things, right? I start my day with prayer and meditation, and I do somatic floor work every day. I balance my nervous system, and I come from a place of wholeheartedness of where I really want to live my life from. Diet, exercise, all of those things. But I think the most important thing is just really being very aware of where my heart is all day long. What is it that I want to create and why? Always starting with the why. And for me, I also have a nonprofit called the World of Peace Foundation, and I think that's really my mission in this world, is to really bring deep healing and peace.
Boy, we could use some more of that right now, right? Mm-hmm. So you have a new book coming out, Emotional Intelligence Mastery. Can we talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, we can. This is really fun, and I feel like I'm revealing a secret here. But
I know.
It's the feng shui of the body it's a spiritual approach. It's the body-mind connection, and it's the mechanics of how our energy works. And the Emotional Intelligence Mastery book is actually the same content. It's just written to a different audience, the executive leadership audience. Because I did use those tools, again, starting out in entry-level sales and climbing the corporate ladder to president. So it's all there.
Well, I have to ask you, because we talked about this in the green room. Can we also talk about how doing the feng shui in your body can also improve your relationships? Because whether it's, a lover, children, our relationships are really hurting right now because we don't know how to talk to one another.
Yes. So again, going back to the 10 years of studying emotionality and emotional intelligence, I have to say one of my biggest successes was really repairing the relationships with my most important relationships, but also understanding I didn't know how to build an important relationship. So the feng shui of the body and the emotional intelligence mastery really helps us have that real set point of who am I? What do I want in my life? What do I believe in? And the relationships that I want to build every single day is my focal point.
Wow, that's crazy. That's amazing. Mm-hmm. Well, that's another question. How do people tap into what they really want? I mean, I talk to women all the time. I ask them, what do you want? They can't answer that question.
Yeah. So in the book, in the manifestation chapter, I really go through all of the success that I had in every area of every power center that I worked with. And it really gives you some good ideas and the process that you need to look through to clear away any potential blocks that you might have in your energy so that you can really create your best life. So we start with, we look at our family story, we look at the emotional blocks that we may have, and really focus on creating a container for the life that we really want.
Wow, love that. Now, I understand you're a professional speaker and that you work with corporate America. Tell me how you help corporate America with the body feng shui.
Yeah. It's all about building relationships, right? Mm-hmm. So I come in and I help, again, executive women excel in their career, teaching them emotional intelligence in action processes and tools so that they can be better leaders with their teams. Because that ultimately heals the team, or creates team cohesiveness, but it most importantly brings strong, cohesive culture. So we're really healing, the return to work and trying to reintegrate back into this life that we once had with ease and grace. Yeah.
Ease and grace, boy, that would be amazing. So, Kimberly, how can people hire you to speak or actually just work with you?
Yeah, you can reach out to me. My website is kimberly-beck.com. I'm also on social media. I have got an Instagram page and a Facebook page, Feng Shui of the Body, soon to be Emotional Intelligence Mastery. But you can definitely reach me at any of those places.
Well, thank you so much, Kimberly, for
thank you
being on the
so
show.
much.
Will you come back?
Oh my God, absolutely. You're lovely. Thank you.
This has been Leah Whitford with Entrepreneur Masterclass. Thanks for watching.